Let's go!
You are now watching Believe. Do you believe?
Go single! Jarvis nuts!
ITG.
You know, folks there in West Virginia, they believe in God, country, family, and Mountaineer football, and not necessarily in that order.
There will be a product on the field that will match the fans that we have.
Come on across the Star City Bridge and on up the hill.
You're in the right place. You are in the gun.
Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out.
In the Gun, episode 159 of your new favorite WVU football podcast. I'm Wesley Euler with the best teammates in the business. We got the signal caller, Jed Drenning, the runaway beer truck down the sideline. Big Owen Schmidt as he knocks over his camera there trying to flex on us. And the co-host slash producer slash Mr. Do-It-All, Schuyler Callahan, in this edition of ITG. As always, brought to you in part by our friends at Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs, from baseball to golf to the NBA and the NHL playoffs. You can get all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams, all the latest odds, lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action at Bet Online, where the game starts. And we are going to have our own little game of trivia, who wants to be a Mountaineer here. But a few things to kick around first before we get there. Speaking of the game starts, big shout out to our baseball team. I went down to PNC Park last night and had myself a great time as we mercy ruled those stinking Pitt Panthers 11-1. They had to call it after 7, baby. Go on home, Pitt, with a little early call there, like you're a bunch of little league schlubs. And the Mountaineers now 6-0 all-time at PNC Park against Pitt and Penn State combined there. I think 4 of those have been against Pitt, 2 have been against Penn State, but don't quote me on that. So another big win for Randy Mazey and the boys. Shout out to Grant Hussey, who became the all-time WVU home run leader in the process, hitting 2 dingers out at PNC Park. Pretty cool way to set the program record for all-time home runs, too. So let's keep it humming for Randy Mazey and the boys there, certainly. And gentlemen, as I mentioned, as I teased, we have a line, an early line, 12.5 points. Penn State favored, by DraftKings Sportsbook as they released their lines for the open of the college football season here within the last 24, 48 hours or so, depending on when you're listening to this. Jed, I'm going to kick it to you in just a second because I know you've done some research too on times when WVU has been this big of a home dog. It's rare. It's not often that you're almost a 2-point touchdown, 2-point underdog at home in a season opener. But Big O, 12.5-point underdog at home? I mean, what the hell? What are we talking about here?
Man, I'm taking WVU on that. That's good odds for us.
I'm already in on
a little on the money line.
Hey, I'm get in on it before they change
I ain't
it.
Sprinkling it. I'm slapping it down. I'm slapping it down like it's $10 on black at the roulette table, baby.
Oh boy.
Hey, I don't know if they'll win the game, but look, we had that whole summer last year of them talking about 14, right? You think Neil Brown's going to bring up that late touchdown that they scored in that game last year? I think that's going to be something that they bring up a time or two.
Late isn't what the final play of the game, but to your point, Owen, it's going to be interesting to monitor this thing, not just in the next few weeks, but over the course of the summer, to see if in fact it stays put or if there's movement. And if so, will it move toward WVU? Is that line going to drop some? I would have to guess maybe. It does seem kind of extreme in the sense that we're at home. We return 15 starters. We're coming off a 9-win season. This isn't to throw shade on any level of Penn State. They're going to be probably a top 10 football team again. So they're going to be a world beater potentially again. They got Drew Aller back. They got a cast around him. They got players. They got all those things. But Wes, as you touched on, I did do some research. I was kind of interested to see, like you said, you're talking 12.5 points. You're talking nearly 2 touchdowns. And there's a big difference even between being a 10-point dog and a 12.5-point dog. That's a different dynamic there. So I wondered, it doesn't feel like very often that we're that extreme of an underdog. Now, there obviously been times that we've been double-digit dogs in the last couple decades. Not a long list of times, but there have been. So I ask myself, all right, how many times in the last couple decades, say, or this century, has West Virginia been a 12.5-point dog or more? So what I did was I went back and I looked to at least the last 2 times West Virginia at home was an underdog by at least 12.5 points. I stopped once I got to the second time. I was like, well, it's rare, because one of the times was in 2003, 21 years ago. You all remember the game? We were a 14-point home underdog against number 3 ranked and unbeaten Virginia Tech under the lights, the pepper spray game. We smoked them 28-7. Should have been a shutout. Bad call. But 28-7 as a 14-point dog. One of the last 2 times that we've been a dog of 12.5 or more at home. Now, when's the other time it happened? Fast forward all the way to 2013, the Bumblebee game against Oklahoma State. Rightfully so. We're coming off the 37-0 meltdown in Baltimore against Maryland. Oklahoma State came into town hotter than Texas chili, as Rick Neuheisel might say. That line started at 21, but it ended at like 19.5. So we were 19.5-point dogs when we stepped on the field. It can be Clint Trickett's. I said Rick Trickett. Clint Trickett's first start. And of course, we pulled the upset 30-21 as 19.5-point dogs. So if you see a trend emerging here, smile like the butcher's dog, as they say, because the last 2 times we've been underdogs of greater than 12.5 points at home, we found a way to win those games. So it's not often that it happens, but in those 2 instances, there was a dynamic at play that put us in position to maybe shock some people. I don't know. Is this going to be similar? Is this going to be different? I know we're going to have, like Schuyler said, even a little bit more of an edge to us as a result. I mean, you talk about no respect. We're coming off a 9-win season. We thought we turned a corner, did a few things right. We far from arrived. We're not a completed product. But to open at home, this isn't on the road, at home, irrespective of who you're playing, it feels like a little bit of shade. At least I hope that's the perception in the locker room. Because this time of year, I want no credit. I want only hate. That's all I want coming our way is hate and disrespect. That's our fuel.
Well, both of those games also have something in common, and that was that yours truly was at both of them. That game against Virginia Tech and that game against Oklahoma State, one as a 7th grader and one as a student. And so, yeah, I'll be there as a adult against Penn State. So we're gonna keep the trend. Adultish, that's right. And as long as Big O's there too, if him and I are in the stadium at the same time, we all know we don't lose. So maybe that's just how we make sure that we add another one of those big double-digit underdog home wins to our belt there. So good research as always by Jed. Obviously, that line will move by the time we get to the end of August. That's something we'll continue to keep an eye on as we roll along. Another thank you to our friends at Toothman Ford. Big shout out to our guy JR. We all know cars cost less in Grafton. Big shout out, big thank you to our friends at Team Toothman. We're going to take a break here, and then we'll kind of spin the block. I'll pass the host reins to Jed as we will have another edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. Myself, Schuyler, and Owen will compete in everybody's new favorite WVU trivia game. We'll do that on the other side. You are in the gun.
Nobody supports the blue and gold Mountaineers like Toothman Ford. With over 20 NIL deals and counting, Toothman Ford continues to rally behind our student athletes. And it's time we rally and support the dealer that supports the Mountaineers. Not only does Toothman Ford offer the best prices in the state on pre-owned, their never over MSRP campaign on new Fords guaranteed to save you thousands. Drive with pride all season long, knowing you're supporting the dealer that fuels our Mountaineers. Toothman Ford, where cars cost less, in Grafton and at toothmanford.com.
ITG will be right back.
Here's Harrison, trouble, stiff arms, the would-be tackler, comes down over the 25 to 20, goes around about at the 15 to 10 to 5, a touchdown with Virginia, he did it!
For nearly 20 years, Fortis has been the nation's leader in providing guaranteed roof performance programs for commercial buildings. Fortis offers roof performance solutions that feature extensive initial and ongoing reconditioning for commercial buildings as an alternative to traditional replacement, with long-term performance guarantees that are backed by global leader Lloyd's of London. Fortis offers a comprehensive range of roof performance management programs that provide financial security, extend the life of our customers' roofs, and make a significant impact on ROI. Fortis is currently improving performance and increasing ROI for customers at more than 4,800 locations, with more than 140 million square feet protected, including many Fortune 500 companies that have turned to Fortis to save money, gain financial certainty, and extend the life of their existing roofs. Fortis has helped customers save more than $520 million in capital roof replacement costs for an average ROI of over 250%. To learn more, visit fortis.us.com. Fortis, roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed.
All right, boys, let's go.
One side of the stadium filled with 60,000 plus is yelling, let's go, and the other side is yelling, Mountaineer.
We want to tell you the stuff we're not good at, our weaknesses, so we're clear up front.
Owen's cracking up.
You just lost to your own game. You're outgunned and outmanned.
Who wants to be
a Mountaineer?
That's a great question.
Keep your tears in your eyes where they belong.
Stupid! Stupid!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, your new favorite WVU trivia game. And now your host, Jed, the signal caller, Drenning.
Schuyler, can you find any 70s audience, approval, like loud clapping or, something like that?
I feel like I was ready to come down on The Price is Right or something.
That was a little. I'm trying to think of some of the names here that would go with the cast of characters that used to host these things. I keep thinking of Ed McMahon, but he wasn't a game show; he was a late show host or a late show sidekick. At any rate, to recap, this will be the third time that we have convened, at least some of us, to play this game, Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, WVU football trivia. The matchup in game one was between Wes and Schuyler. Defensive battle. Schuyler, you pulled that out 6-0, I think. 1 point under appeal. You're trying to add to that because I screwed up keeping score. So I was smart enough in the second game to get some help keeping score as we moved along, and I would ask for the same help along the way here. And then the last game, what a shootout that was. 50-something to 40-something to 20-something or 30-something. But Wes came from behind. Or no, Wes maintained. You led at the half last week, didn't you, Wes?
Yeah, and then I coughed up the lead, and then I got it back.
Okay, yeah, but you scored 50 some odd points last week. Everybody did really well. So Wes got the win last week. So that means, does the bell toll for the beer truck? We'll find out. So here we go with episode 3 of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? For those unfamiliar, 4 questions in each half. Questions escalate in difficulty, as does the point value as we proceed. So to start the first half and the first of 4 questions. Question number 1, gentlemen. I ask you, Owen, I assume you're on your phone again, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll do it the same as last time. So, Schuyler, you and Wes will text me your answers, after which Owen will give me his answers so you guys don't influence each other.
Yep.
All right, question number 1 for 1 point. This is multiple choice. Who was the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners when Bill Stewart and the Mountaineers upset OU in the 2008 Fiesta Bowl following the 2007 regular season? Was it A, Lincoln Riley? Was it B, Bob Stoops? Okay, we have their answers. Owen, what say you?
B.
B. Correct across the board. Boom, boom, and boom. It was, in fact, Bob Stoops. Lincoln Riley, of course, didn't arrive. He first arrived as Bob Stoops' O coordinator and then took the reins when Bob Stoops moved on. So everybody has 1 point for those scoring at home across the board. Now we move to question number 2, point value, 2 points. You guys text, I want to answer after. Before advancing to a pro career, this too is multiple choice. Before advancing to a pro career that spanned 11 years in the NFL, CFL, and USFL, what explosive Mountaineers skill player of the 1970s built a college resume that included an 80-yard touchdown run, a school record 96-yard scoring reception, and a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown? Was it A, Marshall Mills, or B, Danny Buggs? Owen has his phone a friend down there. Okay, Owen, we got their answers. What say you? A, Marshall Mills, B, Danny Buggs.
Danny Buggs.
Danny Buggs. Everybody got it correct. Okay, so that's two, and two.
Look at us, boys.
Way ahead of his time.
And three. Oh, he certainly was. Danny Buggs is one of those guys who, when you ask, hey, I know people are bigger and faster and stronger today. How many guys from yesteryear? Gale Sayers always comes up in the larger picture. Danny Buggs is one of those guys who could probably still play the game today with the skill set that he had in the 70s. Moving on. Boy, we're blowing through this first half, guys. Moving on to question number 3. With the game tied at 3. Point value, 3. 7 times through the years, the West Virginia faithful have made the pilgrimage to Jacksonville, Florida to cheer on the Mountaineers in the Gator Bowl. How many of those 7 Gator Bowl appearances have resulted in a WVU win? Was it A, 1, B, 2, or C, 3?
I'm stumped on this one.
Not easy. It's easy for me because I have the answer. Otherwise, it's not easy. Always easy when you're asking, right?
I'm going to go with that right there.
I got him. Owen, what do you say?
Man, it's a tough one. I'm going to go with B, though.
B?
Oh, wait.
Okay,
Yeah.
Owen.
I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. I just thought of it. Unless I'm wrong on being wrong.
Final answer, Schuyler? He doesn't know your answer.
Yeah, I'll go with
tell
that.
me final answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just go with that.
Okay, the correct answer is 1.
Oh,
Hey.
okay, sweet.
1. WV beat Georgia Tech on January 1st, 2007 in the game where Owen ran for a career high 109 yards. That was the only Gator Bowl victory for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
For some reason,
Owen Schmidt played in that game.
I knew he struggled, but I just didn't.
I thought we
couldn't
had. I thought we had one.
remember.
Yeah, I thought we had
at
one
least
more too. Yeah.
For some reason, I was starting to
about it,
think that we had one like back in the pre-2000s, but I'm glad I stuck with my answer there.
No, we just used to go and get slaughtered by Maryland every year.
Every year,
right? It was an annual tradition of my youth, is us going to my family having a big Gator Bowl watch party, and we're down by 50 at halftime.
Yeah,
So we won
FSU
7
smoked
times.
us too, man.
And what I remember, Owen, is where'd the team stay when you played in the Gator Bowl?
TPC or Sawgrass, or what is it?
That's where we stay. Yep, Sawgrass. So they were, same thing. I wondered if it was the same when you were there because I wasn't there till 2009 season, the 2010 Gator Bowl. But yeah, Sawgrass. That was great, wasn't it? That was a cool place to stay. Okay, so 7 appearances.
17th.
7 appearances, 1 victory, and that was the one Owen played in. Again, Owen had 109 yards career high against Georgia Tech. So remember, Pat and Owen kind of carried the way in the second half with Steve out. So here we go to the final question of the first half. We're blowing through this, and the score right now, Schuyler with a 6-3 lead. Here we come down the stretch. Final question, boys, for 4 points to end the first half. With 204 rushing yards during a game MVP performance in the 2006 Sugar Bowl, Steve Slayton broke a Sugar Bowl rushing record previously held by what Heisman Trophy winner? Was it A, Herschel Walker, B, Tony Dorsett, C, Eddie George?
Oh,
Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett, or Eddie George? Whose record did Super Steve break with 204 yards rushing? As a true freshman.
Wow, what a great question.
That is a
poison pill. Owen's blocking for those yards, and I'm screwing him here with this question.
Owen's like, I was too busy doing my job, man.
All right, let me see. So, did you send 2 texts, Wes?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it now. I thought you did. All right, because I'm trying to keep it all. I got you. Okay.
Sorry, I was just
Let me
trying to be
see
funny.
here. Hang on. I see. I see what you did there. Let me see here. So, Owen, what is your answer?
I'm going to say Eddie George.
Owen's going to say Eddie George. The correct answer is B, Tony Dorsett. Now, when Wes texted me, he sent me 2 texts. One was B, and the next one was ESP. So, even in
The
recognizing,
only reason you guys know the movie Slumdog Millionaire, where like every question he's got some crazy story as to how he remembers. For me, I will never forget the day after the Sugar Bowl going into school and being like, Tony Dorsett, where's your rushing record, boys? Steve Slayton in the building. And guess what? He's only a freshman. He's coming back. Like I will remember Steve taking down Tony Dorsett's record forever.
My theory behind picking A was Pitt just doesn't get into big games like that very often. So
I like it. I like it. And hey, Wes, for my generation, I'll give you a Slumdog Millionaire and raise you a Cliff Clavin on Cheers when he made it to Jeopardy.
There you go.
Because Cliff Clavin made it to Jeopardy, and every single question was about beer and the Postal Service.
Yeah, that's right.
Every question, until Final Jeopardy. And he said, "What are 3 things not in my kitchen?"
Geez.
Or who is somebody not in my kitchen or something? Okay,
we got a big halftime show coming up here. Rihanna.
You have the lead.
Rihanna and Green Day are doing the halftime show here.
I mean, Owen's got a guitar, so
7 to 6 to 3. Wes is in the lead. 7 for Wes.
We've seen this story
6.
before.
Owen with 3. Here, more smack talk. More smack talk.
All right, listen.
So we got a halftime show for you, Wes. Take us out.
Yeah, we got a halftime show coming up here. I mean, Rihanna, Green Day, Bruce Springsteen, Chris Stapleton, Jay-Z,
Charles Wesley
Godwin, Tom Petty, Hologram. It's gonna be the best halftime show you've ever seen in your life. Huey Mack, Philip Bowen, yeah, right, all these guys. So we'll let them have their fun. We'll come back, see how this second half plays out. A thank you to our guy Rick Lewis and our friends at Fortis for being a sponsor of In the Gun for roof performance and financial security guaranteed. You got to visit fortis.us.com. Coming back here on the other side, second half, we'll see how it plays out. Who wants to be a Mountaineer? You are In the Gun.
All right, everybody, we ready to get this halftime show started. Let's go, baby. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Hello? Yes? Oh, man. Okay. All right. Sorry, everyone. It looks like we're not going to be able to have our halftime show tonight. Wes sent out the wrong damn Zoom link. So Jay-Z, Rihanna, even Charles Wesley Godwin, we couldn't get him on either for this one. But that's okay. In the meantime, we're going to play you this clip from episode 151 with our interview with Philip Bowen, him playing the fiddle, playing Country Roads. We'll take a look at that and then get back to our game. Again, apologies, everybody. Blame it on Wes.
This is Philip Bowen, and you are In the Gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the second half of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer? Another thrilling conclusion to your favorite WVU trivia show. Once again, it's your award-winning host, the signal caller, Jed Drenning.
I have to say, one more reason to watch on YouTube in the event that you're listening instead of watching. Schuyler last week threw up some really cool flip card kind of score updates. So it's much easier to watch this. And plus, you want to get the reaction that Wes is going to offer, that Owen's going to offer, that Schuyler's going to offer.
The facial
at any rate, to start the second half, again, recap, Wes in the lead with 7, Schuyler in second place with 6, Owen with 3, and still looming out there, we have not yet had our nut check question, in which you can gamble whatever amount you have. So to start the second half, gentlemen, let's get rolling. Point doubles value. It's point value doubles, I should say, in the second half. I just started talking with this new tongue. Question number 1 to start the second half. After his implausible 99-yard snatch and score, don't laugh, Owen. Snatch and score in WVU's Orange Bowl win over Clemson, Darwin Cook committed first-degree fruit abuse when he ran through the end zone and barreled over what mascot? Multiple choice. Was it A, Cedric the Citrus, B, Obie the Orange, or C, Prince Whirligig Banana Winkle?
What the? Where do you come up with some of these? I don't know.
A,
Goodness.
Cedric the Citrus, B, Obie the Orange, C, Prince Whirligig Banana Winkle.
I'm such a child. I'm still laughing about the snatch and score.
Okay, they have their answers in. Owen, what say you?
I'm going to say A.
You're going to say Cedric the Citrus?
Yes, sir.
That's your answer? Okay, let me see here. The correct answer is B, Obie the Orange. Following the game, Darwin Cook bumped into Obie on the field and expressed regret, saying, "I didn't know you were a girl. I apologize. There was a girl under that outfit." And he did apologize to her. True story. So, okay, that takes us up to 9 to 8 to 3, correct? Is that what you guys have?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to question number 2. A lot of points still on the table, plus our nut check looming out there somewhere. Question number 2, worth 4 points. Wes loves these. True or false? I didn't have this in here, but after Wes's bitching and moaning last week, I inserted one. Okay?
I mean, geez Louise.
True or false?
Just Mickey Mouse league here.
Worth 4 points. Worth 4 points. WVU's 2024 spring game, which was just played last weekend, was a day of many firsts, as the Mountaineers welcomed back a pair of legends to coach the teams and unveiled new uniforms. With the new rule change for the upcoming season, remember these rules changes with college football, some of the additions they've made. With the new rule change for the upcoming season, true or false, this spring game also marked the first 2-minute warning in Milan Puskar Stadium history. True or false?
Feels like a trick question.
Okay, let me see here. This is worth 4 points. Owen, we have their answers. What say you? True or false?
I said true. True.
It is false.
Oh,
it is false.
Jed, were you referring to the 1997 preseason football game between
98.
the Steelers and the Falcons? 98?
Yeah, the 28-22 game. And Wes, I don't know if you know this. I learned it when I went back to see the actual date of the Steelers-Falcons preseason game in 1998, which, of course, NFL games have 2-minute warnings. So in 1998, that game included a 2-minute warning, 2 of them, in fact. But at Old Mountaineer Field, I didn't know this until recently. In Old Mountaineer Field, the Steelers hosted the Bengals in 1968 in a preseason game. That I did not know. So we got Schuyler said true. So you got the big fat 0, Schuyler. Wes said false. Okay. So Wes is now up 13 for Wes. Schuyler has 8. Owen has 3.
Man. It's a rough day.
I was gonna ask if we were talking WVU only, because I probably should have, because if you did, then
you got to listen to Jed carefully.
Yeah,
he crafts
you
his
gotta listen.
words.
Words have meaning.
Words have meaning.
Yes. Okay. So it is West 13 to 8-3, and we move on to question 3, worth 6 points. Which, gentlemen, it is this episode's nut check.
Nut check. Nut check. Nut check.
So there we go. Nut check it is. The rules of nut check. This question is worth 6 points. So the 6 points are on the table either way. But you can also, in addition to the 6 points, gamble whatever you have earned so far. So that means, Wes, you have 13. You can gamble it. Schuyler 8, Owen 3. Please text me your gambles. Okay. How are we going to do this with Owen? I don't know how we did this. What's that?
I'm doing all 3. I'm doing I'm
okay.
I'm maxing
okay.
out, bud.
You're not playing it close to the vest?
Yeah, right. Not really. Like
okay. Wow. So I'm waiting on Wes here. There's some intrigue here. So
Sorry.
He thought about that. He thought about it. He gave it some thought. Okay. Gotcha. So 6 points in addition to the gambles that you made. Those guys both gambled 4. Question. Multiple choice. Before being drafted by the American Football League's Denver Broncos, what WVU back posted the school's first ever 1,000-yard rushing season with 1,068 yards in 1966? Was it A, Jim Braxton, B, Garrett Ford Sr., or C, Dick Leftridge? Jim Braxton, Garrett Ford Sr., or Dick Leftridge, who posted the first 1,000-yard season in West Virginia history? Okay, so let me see here. All right. Owen, we have their answers. What say you? Jim Braxton, Garrett Ford Sr., or Dick Leftridge?
What was the first part of the question with Denver? What was that all about?
This person got drafted by Denver in the AFL. Yep.
Just to throw us off.
Or to give you more information on who this person is.
Yeah.
Some people remember him for wearing those funky Broncos uniforms of the 60s.
Oh man, I feel like Braxton played for Cleveland. Was it Coach Ford? Maybe it was. I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna ride out.
The answer is Garrett Ford Sr. B.
Let's go.
Yes. Jim Braxton played for the Bills. He was OJ's blocking back.
The Bills, okay.
3 for 3, huh?
I was like,
so 3 for okay. So now what that means is it was worth 6. Each of you gambled. Okay, so that's 10 for you two. So there we go. 10 takes Wes to 23. 10 takes Schuyler to 18. 9, because Owen gambled 3 and it was worth 6. 9 takes Owen up to 12. Okay.
Woohoo!
Look at us, boys.
Galaxy Garrett Ford Sr. Boy, he was a player back in the day, guys. He really was. You talk about another guy that was ahead of his time. He absolutely was ahead of his time. Garrett Ford Sr. doesn't get, I don't think, nearly enough love. But were those, again, some Mountaineer fans might remember those. There's pictures of him in those funky orange, like stirrups in their socks, those AFL Broncos uniforms that were just ugly as the day is long. So here we go. To wrap things up in the second half, with Wes leading 23, Schuyler 18, Owen 12.
Is this the last question, or do we have one of those extra overtime questions again too?
This is the question, and then we go to the final question. We end the second half with this question and come back with a final question.
You know, usually when the second half ends and someone's in the lead, that's the game. But I'm just saying.
This dog is
you might want to regret
still.
I'm inspired by Pat. You know, Pat McAfee spent all his time at the spring game just yelling at the referees. That's what I'm going to spend all my time now doing. And Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer is just getting in Jed's ear.
Well, there's a price for doing that. All right. Question 4: true or false?
Oh, that's what the price is. Another true or false question.
Multiple choice. Multiple choice. Now, I want to see who gets this. What West Virginia wide receiver lit up the Pitt Panther secondary for 205 yards receiving a Mountaineer field record at the time in a heartbreaking 41-38 triple overtime loss for the Mountaineers in 1997. 205 yards receiving, Mountaineer field record at the time, triple overtime loss in 97. Multiple choice. Was it A, Corey Ivy? Was it B, Pat Green? Was it C, Jerry Porter? Corey Ivy, Pat Green, Jerry Porter. Please submit your answers, gentlemen. Okay. We got Wes's. We got Schuyler's. Owen, we have their answers in. What say you?
Joey Porter, maybe?
You all said Jerry Porter, and the correct answer is Pat Green.
No way. Oh wow.
He had 12
I
catches
had
for
that one for
205. Gentlemen, in his career, he had 32 for 853.
That's
so that
incredible.
was his moment in the sun. Yes. So what that does, that sends us into final Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And again, I'll need you guys to submit your point totals during the break, because we're going to take a break here before the final question. Owen will tell me during the break what his are, but you guys can text me in the meantime, or tell me during the break, whatever you. Matter of fact, text me so Owen doesn't hear it. But the score, as we wrap up the second half, heading into the final question, Wes has 23, Schuyler has 18, Owen has 12. Is that what you guys have now?
Yes.
23, 18 to 12. All right. Take us out, Wes, before the final question.
I mean, somebody's in the lead, but I guess we're going to an overtime here once again. We'll see how this all plays out. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer.
If you work the land, you just got to be a jack of all trades type. There's just too much to do. So if you got to be a welder or a farmer or a ditch digger, that's just who you are that day. Then tomorrow, you can be somebody else.
Get your Coyote at the new location of Johnston Equipment between Weston and Buchanan.
It's time for the conclusion here of WWTBAM. How will it play out for the final question? It's the co-host, or the game show host, Jed, the signal caller, Drenning.
Now, I kind of screwed you guys, because normally I give you at least the topic before I ask you to wager. I didn't do it this time. I forgot. So the topic is, for those listening or watching, historic wins. Historic wins. So now that you guys have submitted your wagers, you don't know what they are, each other's. I have all your wagers before me. Wes leading 23, as you can see on the screen, to 18 to 12. Final question of the afternoon, the evening. Historic wins. West Virginia's win, gentlemen, at Oklahoma in 1982 represents the highest ranked team the Mountaineers have ever beaten in a true road game, non-neutral site, true road game. So bowls don't count. What were the Sooners ranked in the Associated Press poll when Don Nehlen's Mountaineers toppled them in that 1982 season opener? Not multiple choice. Highest ranked team we've ever beaten in a true road game. What were they ranked? Text your answers, and afterwards, Owen, I'll let you know, and you can provide yours.
I'm so screwed. Oh boy.
This is one where I looked at it in categories like you either know it or you don't, or you have a sense and you at least ballpark it, or you might be way off.
I feel like I see it on the screen.
While we wait for the dramatic conclusion of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, a thank you to our sponsors at Johnston Equipment. Make sure you're checking out their newest location, Route 33, just outside of Weston.
Oh,
okay. Oh, okay. We got it. All right, we got it. All right. Owen, I have their answers in. Highest ranked team West Virginia ever beat was Oklahoma in 1982. What was, in a true road game, what was Oklahoma ranked as the highest ranked opponent in a true road game that we beat?
I'm going to say 3.
3. Okay. You say 3. All right. Here are the answers you provided. Wes, you said 7th. Owen, you said 3rd. Schuyler, you said 9th. The correct answer is 9th.
Let's go! We're doing it, baby. We're doing it.
Whoa! He's
Yeah,
giving
look
himself
at I don't know if I've ever seen these
guy.
glasses off.
This guy.
That's pretty good.
Let's
That's
go.
The self-shower. The self-shower. So now what we got to do is we got to tally it up. Here's what you guys gambled. Wes, you had 23. You gambled 19.
I have 4 left.
You have 4. Owen, you had 12. You gambled 12. You have 0 left. Schuyler, you had 18. You gambled 17. You have 35. 35. Not a record-setting day, but a winning day.
That's
but
a route.
Owen, in your defense, again,
that looks like a route on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's why we always distinguish between true road game and a neutral site game. Because bowl games, for instance, when you beat Oklahoma in the desert, Owen, you were ranked 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a neutral site game. So the highest ranked team we've ever beat is 3rd. We beat Virginia Tech at number 3. We beat Oklahoma in the desert and neutral site number 3. But on the road, because remember, we were having this discussion last year. I said it in the Penn State preview. If, in fact, we went up to Happy Valley and knocked them off, because what were they, 8th, 7th? What were they?
That
would have been the highest ranked team.
He's cleaning off his room.
He's cleaning his desk off. Yeah. Penn State would have been, because I think they were hired 9th last year, would have been the highest ranked. But, yes, that's how hard it is to beat ranked teams on the road. That's hard. 9th is the highest ranked team in a true road game West Virginia has ever beaten. So congratulations to one Schuyler Callahan. And guys, before I forget, I do want to wish the best of luck. We got a young gal, Izzy Cooper. I want to send a shout out. A buddy of mine, a matter of fact, he texted me some information not too awful long ago. It is, let me see the information. This weekend is the Pennsylvania State Championship this Sunday. The Pennsylvania State Championship for gymnastics. She is taking part. She's a barn burner. I'm friends of the family. She's a great young gal. She's doing a great job in those gymnastics events. It looks like every time her dad sends me a video, it looks like I'm watching Madam Web or something. I mean, she's flipping around and spinning and doing all these things that just make me hurt even looking at it. But best of luck to Izzy Cooper in this weekend's championship. But once again, Schuyler, you're sitting there at 2-1 now.
Yes.
Look at this.
Let's
Whoa.
go.
Now's the point in the season we start to get some standings going, right?
I was going to say we need to have like an all-time wins tracker and an all-time scoreboard tracker too. I think as the history of this plays out.
I know where that's coming from.
I had to top Wes's celebration from last week of getting half naked. So, Owen, when you win,
if you really, hey, hold on. If you really wanted to top that celebration, you get half naked.
I don't know.
Just the other half.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm telling you guys, I had a vibe, a weird feeling that Owen was like going to snatch this with the 4th question, and I just said it felt like something weird was going to happen there.
I felt it was 9 the entire time, but I was feeling like it was too low, and I almost changed my damn answer. So
no, the second that Jed said Schuyler picked 9, in the back of my mind, I went F. That's the right answer. So you were
well played.
You were
gentlemen.
money.
Well played.
Well done. No, good job. A big thank you as always to our host, the signal caller Jed Drenning, and for the champion Schuyler Callahan, and my compadre in sadness, the runaway beer truck Owen Schmidt. I am Wesley Euler. Thanks as always to our sponsors for presenting this episode of ITG, to Schuyler for putting this all together. I mean, he gets the Gatorade bath, but he still has to go and do some more work here as well too. So I guess we'll let it slide for him. The one thing that we ask of you, as always, of course, before we get out of here, is to be an ear and tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. You've been in the gun.
ITG.
The fun doesn't have to stop here.
Be sure to hit subscribe and never miss an episode.
If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback,
be sure to follow us on X at In the Gun Podcast.
Join us again next time.
Until then,
tell an ear to tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast.
This mission is over. It's over.